Here's my latest sketch, which only took me a couple of hours to do, and to be honest, I'm pretty chuffed with how it turned out. But they don't all turn out like that. For example, this is one of a pub car park in Norfolk. Here's another one of my trip to Chester Zoo with the grandkids. And here's some fishermen's cottages in Malfra. Obviously, I'm less chuffed with those ones. In my book, it's never too late to start something completely new, even in retirement. And urban sketching was one of the retirement hobbies I was keen to start when I retired last year, June 2025. I eventually got round to giving it a go about 10 months ago, and I've slowly improved since then. And what I'd like to do in this video is share 3 key mistakes that held me back longer than I needed to. So if you fancy giving urban sketching a go, you can avoid making the same mistakes I made. For anyone new to the channel, my name's Gary Booth. I retired last June 2025 after 44 years working in IT and business change. And I knew that I needed a few rewarding things to do in retirement to pass a few hours here and there. I'd seen urban sketching online, so typically people sat in cafes or on park benches, just drawing whatever structure was in front of them. Now the official name for it is line and wash, but basically all it means is that you sketch the structure in pencil or pen. I typically use pen. And then you give it a quick wash of colour. The main reasons it really appealed to me as a retirement hobby was, first of all, you don't need a lot of expensive kit to get started. Here's the kit I use. I've got a simple bowl to hold the water, got my sketchbook obviously, a couple of clips to hold the sketchbook open. I've then got 3 fine liners, a 0.05, a 0.3 and a 0.5. That's for doing the structure of the sketch. And I've then got 4 brushes. 2 larger ones, a flat and a round, that are used to get plenty of colour onto the page. And then the smaller size 6 and 4 round brush that I use for the finer detail. And obviously a simple set of watercolours. And secondly, it's portable. You can take it with you wherever you go. And I plan to do a lot more trips now that I've retired, so urban sketching will go with me. Here's one of the first scenes I chose to draw. Now it's a lovely Tudor farmhouse, not that far away from where I live, and it would make a great urban sketch. But it's overly ambitious. When I actually sat down to try and sketch it, I didn't know where to start. I felt completely overwhelmed. There's lots of architectural detail, there's lots of different textures going on. So there's the building itself, there's the trees, the plants, the water, the walls, just too much. It was overly ambitious. And the end result was I didn't finish the drawing. I just abandoned it. I'd bitten off more than I could chew. If you look at this photograph of Malfra Lifeboat Station, you'd think it'd be quite a simple building to sketch, but look a little bit more closely and look at all the detail. There's radio masts, there's sirens, there's signs, there's different shaped and sized windows, these doorways, this perspective running in different directions. It's quite a complicated scene. So which bits should you sketch and which bits should you leave out? Now if you're anything like me and you've had a career where detail and precision are really important and it's the sort of thing you get measured on, your answer's probably going to be sketch every detail. The problem though with the sketch every detail approach is you quickly get bogged down. Your drawing skills aren't yet at the required level. Everything takes you a lot longer than it should do really. You lose interest, and if you're like me, you give it up as a bad job, which is exactly what happened with my attempt at sketching the Malfra lifeboat station. I tried to incorporate too much detail, the aerials, the windows, the sign on the side, and the end result was I just got really strange perspective. The roof line looks a bit odd, this window's all over the place, the door frame's not great. It just looked a mess. I just gave up as a bad job. If you contrast that with this later sketch, you'll notice that I've excluded lots of detail from the photograph it's based on. So I've not drawn all of the houses, I haven't drawn any of the cars. There's lampposts on the street which I haven't included. I've also added some extra elements. I've added bushes, so there's a small bush here, but I've made it more prominent to hide some of the background, and I added an extra one on this side. You'll also notice that I've included these red flowers which aren't on the photograph, but they were on an earlier photograph that I took around Remembrance Day when the poppy wreaths had been laid. So it's up to you. You can include or exclude whatever you want, but I think the key thing is to remove detail where possible to simplify your job. So when is a sketch finished? Really hard to know. It's something I've struggled with. I still struggle with, to be honest. The temptation is to keep fiddling, to redo your ink lines, maybe to put a bit more colour in, a bit more detail. You keep fiddling, and the end result is you overwork it and it looks a mess. The problem though is it's hard to know when to stop. I think the method I've come up with is when I start asking myself those questions, should I redo that line? Should I add a little bit more detail? I know then it's time to stop. And I think if you look at these next two sketches, it's easy to see which one I overworked and which one I didn't. When I sketched these fishermen's cottages, I had a lot less urban sketching experience, and I think it clearly shows. For example, if you're looking on the hill here, I've overworked the bushes, so it just looks like a green splodgy mess. If you look underneath the gutter line on the cottages, you can see where I've tried to add a shadow, and again, that's not really worked. I put too much emphasis on redoing the ink, so everything looks the same. There's not really much depth in the sketch. And there are other things wrong too, like the perspective of the driveway is a bit off. I don't like all these extra brush strokes in the sky. But I'm less concerned with those. What my real issue is with this sketch is how overworking it has just turned it into a splodgy mess that it looks like a 10-year-old has done. Here's one of my latest sketches, and I think it's much better than the previous one I showed. It's not perfect. I don't expect it to be honest. I'm still a novice, I'm still learning, and I'm not striving for perfection anyway. I'm just looking to please me. As long as I'm happy with the sketches, that's all that matters. And I think one of the things I'm most happy with this sketch is I've left a lot of detail out. I've simplified it. So in the actual photograph, there's roads, there's vehicles. On the actual war memorial itself, there's inscriptions. I chose not to include them. I chose to simplify it, and I think it's all the better for it. Now, the only thing is, no one can tell you when the right time is to stop. Only you can decide if you're starting to overwork a sketch. And if you're asking those sort of questions, that's when you should stop. To be completely honest, I saw urban sketching as a pleasant way to pass a bit of time. Maybe a couple of hours on a wet Tuesday afternoon, which we get a lot of in England. But it's turned out being more than that. It's kind of shown me a lot of things about myself. It's proven that I can be a beginner again, even though I'm retired. I can pick up new things and I can improve at them. And it's very satisfying. It is very rewarding. I think for a lot of people, retirement is just about winding down, chilling out. You deserve it after a long career. And whilst that's true, and I'm doing quite a bit of that myself, there's more to retirement than that. As far as I'm concerned, it's just another exciting phase of life. And unlike a lot of the other phases, you've actually got the time to do things you want. So, if you're thinking about giving something like urban sketching a go, or some other kind of creative hobby, if you think you're not creative, don't let that hold you back. I felt like that 10 months ago. It's no reason not to give it a go. So, if you've started a new hobby in retirement, let me know in the comments what it is. I'm always interested in what other people are doing. I'm always on the lookout for new hobbies to try. And while I think on, the next video I plan to make will cover my simple urban sketching process. So if you're thinking of giving this hobby a go, that'd be a great place to start. And if you haven't done already, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll make sure you don't miss that video when I publish it. So until next time, take it easy.